Hey everyone, it's Jake Beckman at RebelMouse here. Just going to give everyone a couple more minutes to join in. So just hang tight. We'll get started shortly. Again, if you're just joining, this is Jake Beckman at RebelMouse. We're just going to give everyone a couple more minutes. We'll start around 12:05. Let everyone filter in who's trying to get in here. For the people who are on so far, which is a bunch of you, welcome. And if you guys notice in the webinar software, there's a little tab that says questions. If you click on that, if you have any questions throughout the webinar, you can feel free to type them. At the end, I'll be taking some questions that you guys have. All right, well, let's get started. Thank you guys so much for tuning in for our Rebel webinar, RebelMouse for Newsrooms. I'm Jake Beckman. I am the partner accelerator here at RebelMouse. I work with journalists and newsrooms to make awesome internet together. We help provide the social layer of RebelMouse to make reporters' stories come to life, really pop off the site, make everything you're reporting super dynamic, and we'd love to show you how to do it. So for those of you who aren't familiar with the company, welcome to RebelMouse. We're happy to have you here. So what is RebelMouse? RebelMouse is a content curation, aggregation, and publishing platform. So what does that mean? That means that anything that's going across social media, if you tell our system you want to pull it into a page, it's very easy to pull it right in and publish it right to your site. We're for anyone who has a story to tell. If you're a journalist or you're an editor or you're just an individual with a social brand, your story can be told more visually and more compelling on RebelMouse. We make it super easy to launch really beautiful live updating dynamic sites around only the most relevant social content. If you have a hashtag of a story you're following, if you have specific feeds or a Twitter list of trusted sources that you'd like to pull updates from, you just tell us what you want. We make it super easy to populate your site with content. RebelMouse sites look fantastic on desktop, but they're also mobile web optimized. The same great RebelMouse experience you get on your computer, you'll get on your mobile phone. We're also getting close to launching our Android and iPhone apps. Those should be coming very soon, and we invite you to keep listening because we will have news on that shortly, and we'd love to share them with you. RebelMouse allows you and your newsroom to really strengthen and centralize in one place your presence across all social networks. So most journalists and newsrooms have presence on Facebook and Twitter, Tumblr and Instagram, even Pinterest, Flickr, YouTube, you name it. But how is anyone going to find all that content in one place? Used to be it was a painstaking process of aggregating. RebelMouse makes it super simple to pull it all together in one easy to find, really nice looking site. We're also a great platform to run engagement campaigns, a hashtag campaign with your audience, encouraging people to send in vines or Instagram pictures or tweets. We enable you to curate as closely or loosely as you like, and you're able to populate your page with only the most relevant user-generated content on RebelMouse. We're a team here at RebelMouse who gets it. We're not just some techies who don't know where you're coming from on the journalist side. Our team comes from all over, from former Huffington Post executives, former journalists at CNN, and myself at Bloomberg Television, product side at Time Inc., brands at VaynerMedia, social engagement and community from Clout, and advertising sales, native content and sponsored content, led up by former WPP execs. In short, we understand the business. We understand all aspects of it, and we understand what your workflow is like. We're more than happy and super excited to work with you to make RebelMouse an easy and intuitive part of your workflow. With RebelMouse, we provide the ability for social publishing and curation, not like curating on Twitter, but really a next level of curation. You don't even have to be on your RebelMouse to add content to your site. You can simply favorite tweets or like Instagram posts and send those directly to your site. As you see news breaking on Twitter or across social networks, you're able to, in real time, add it to your site. If you think about the process of adding to your CMS now, I'm sure all of you use disparate CMS to run your site. Imagine RebelMouse as an augment to that, a nice little social layer that makes it super easy to add updates from social media to the original reporting that your journalists are doing. As I mentioned, with user-generated content, we make it super easy to pre-moderate any content before it goes live on your site. You don't have to worry about anyone trying to take advantage of your hashtag to get on your site. We give you the power to curate as you see fit, because your site should reflect what you want. If there's a link to an article somewhere on your site or anywhere across the web, or a photo that would look really good, all you need to do is paste the URL right onto your RebelMouse page, and we pull it in and make it look fantastic. You can even post original content directly on RebelMouse. More and more people are using RebelMouse as a primary blogging platform, moving away from Tumblr, WordPress, to something that's more socially focused, social first. That's where the news is. Shouldn't that be where your CMS is? That's what we think. We also have an awesome Bookmarklet, which you just put right on your toolbar. Anytime you're on a page that you think would look great on your RebelMouse, all you do is click the button, one click, add it right to your site. RebelMouse is an ideal platform for social journalists. As I mentioned, because we're able to pull in content from all the social networks, and only the content that you want, not what you ate for lunch, but only the updates that are relevant for your story, RebelMouse makes live blogging simple and social focused. You can launch, as you see on the left, gorgeous images, splashy live blogs, maybe the next Apple event, maybe the next breaking news story. On the right, you can see text updates look fantastic on RebelMouse. We understand what you need from a live blog, and that's what we're going to give you. At RebelMouse, we provide solutions to core problems that journalists face in the newsroom every day. First problem, news breaks on social media. We all know that. The first updates are going to come from the Twitterverse. Unless you have a social layer on your CMS, there is a lag time between when the news breaks and when you're able to report it from your newsroom. Wouldn't it be fantastic if you had one-click access within your CMS to add any social content that was relevant for a breaking story. RebelMouse takes care of that. As we all know, stories unfold in real time. Updates come in by the minute, by the hour. But traditional websites are static. They require a manual refresh if there's new content added. They need an editor going in and changing copy on social media updates to make it match the style. On RebelMouse, we enable a social-focused platform that is able to pull in all the content in context, allowing you to just look for the best updates and share what you want with your audience. As I mentioned, with engagement campaigns, everyone uses hashtag campaigns to engage their audience. They're fantastic and effective, and they pull in lots of great user-generated content. But then what? As the minutes click on, 5, 10 minutes, those tweets go down and out in your timeline. You're never going to see them again. RebelMouse allows you to keep those, centralize them in one place where they'll live forever. In a year, 2 years, if you want to go back and revisit the conversation, it's right there waiting for you in a way that was never possible before, just focused on your Twitter client, your Facebook feed, things like that. RebelMouse provides fantastic opportunities to increase your engagement with your audience. The Los Angeles News Group saw up to a 30% increase in page views on pages that they had the RebelMouse embed on. Users report that time spent on the RebelMouse embeds is twice the average time spent on other pages of the site that are not RebelMouse social focused. We integrate with analytics that you need to manage your campaigns and tell your story. We have a fantastic proprietary social API that is coming out super soon, will allow you to do fantastic analytics work on social media. We already integrate with your Google Analytics account, and we provide XRS tracking for shared content both on RebelMouse and on embedded sites. So when RebelMouse is on your site, you're still able to track the analytics of how people are engaging with your content. RebelMouse is super agile and flexible and incredibly easy to customize. We provide a number of layouts that are well suited for different types of stories. On the left, you see we offer featured large modules with smaller updates around. To its right, we have a large row of splashy images with text updates or smaller updates around the side. Or you can go for a traditional grid, or in the HuffPost spirit, where our founder and CEO Paul Berry comes from, this giant splash on the right. You can even add a giant splash on top of any page. Those big splashy headlines. You're able to drive eyes to the content that you want them to focus on first, and then let the other updates filter around it. Want to change the design, make it a different color, make it interact differently? No problem. These are all the layouts that we offer now, and we have a ton of new designs coming out soon. These provide you the flexibility to choose a theme and a design that matches the story that you're telling. Different stories call for different looks, and RebelMouse allows you to tell your story in the context that it requires. But what if you have a custom CSS on your site? No problem. With one click, we give you access to the full CSS code. You can customize it to your heart's delight. You can add in your own custom one from your developers and your designers. Our goal is not to make you look like a RebelMouse site. Our goal is to make RebelMouse blend right into your site. No one would even know we were there except for you. But when we are there, we're able to provide this social layer and dynamic updating that other CMS solutions simply don't provide. In addition to full page options, we provide dynamic teaser modules. Everyone knows the Twitter or the most read modules on the right rails of your sites. These are what right rail modules look like powered by RebelMouse. I have a screenshot here of one that we power on Time Out New York site, which I'll show you later. And you can see this one is right on top of the standard Twitter module, and it's much more visual and engaging. It looks more like content that your readers are going to want to click on. And indeed, we find that engagement rates and click-through rates are substantially better on the RebelMouse embeds compared to your standard modules. Why? Because they look like content and they look like things your readers are going to want to read. You can curate an editor's picks module like Time Out New York did. They have a Twitter list of their reporters simply filtered by their domain name and their Bitly account. That means that anything that their editors tweet that has a link back to content on Time Out New York will automatically update in this module. They don't have to worry about having someone on the social team pick and choose. You trust your editors, and when they promote content on your site, you want to feature that. That's what we allow with our Right Rail modules. Just like the full page embed code, you can generate this with a couple of clicks of the mouse right from the embed tab on your dashboard. So how do you get started with RebelMouse? Well, the first step is launch your site. We log in with any of your social APIs with a very simple handshake. As long as you're signed in with the social API you link, the social account you link, you're able to access RebelMouse and launch a number of different sites with the same handle. That means that your newsroom can keep the same sharing information, the same handles, the same links back across campaigns for different sites. Maybe you're running a live blog on one topic one day and you're doing a hashtag campaign the other. We make it easy to log in once and launch as many sites as you see fit. Once you start pulling content in, it's as simple as dragging and dropping. It's what you see is what you get. If you want a module on the left that's on the right, click it and drag it over, drop it where it belongs. If you want something in the middle that's featured, just drag it there. If you like it so much that you want to keep it in that position, there's even a little button to freeze your content. We find this super effective for hashtag campaigns where you have a call to action that's frozen up top. We also find it super effective to centralize reporting around primary updates and allow the social layer to filter alongside it. You can integrate RebelMouse, as I said, directly on your website, number of different options. You can power social subdomains. So, a subdomain on your website will take you right to your RebelMouse. You can take a full story page and embed it right on there, just like you would any other story. Or you can, as I said, run a social teaser module on the right rail of your site. All of these provide opportunities for engagement that are social and that didn't exist before the social-facing platform was added to your CMS. If you're interested just in yourself or launching a couple sites, we do offer a couple of tiers. RebelMouse is free for everyone to use. We offer a powered level of site we call a Rebel Roar, because we want your voice to be heard the way that you want it to be heard. With Rebel Roar, you are able to remove our RebelMouse branding, integrate with those Google Analytics that I talked about, Typekit integration for your CSS, much, much more. That costs at the consumer level $9.99 a month. It's super simple. It's not a huge investment, and it really makes your site look super professional and fit right in with your newsroom site. So that's a brief overview of what RebelMouse is. I'd love to show you some examples of some of the partners that we've worked with so you can see it out in the field. Again, if you have any questions about what I went through in the presentation, you can send questions right through the GoToWebinar platform. Just click on that questions tab and type them in. I'll be answering some questions at the end. If after the webinar you still have questions or you're unsure, send us an email, early@rebelmouse.com, because we want to be early on your problems, take care of them before they become issues. You can tweet us, of course, we're always on social. You can tweet us at RebelMouse. We love interacting with you guys and helping you out. It's what we do. It's what we love to do. So I'd love to walk you through a couple of examples of RebelMouse in action. First and foremost, we power our own website. I guess that's to be expected. You can see that this is our standard website, a standard blog. Posts load in a lightbox and pop right back into your site. It doesn't have to be a live, dynamic, social focus. As I said, we're a fantastic platform to run a standard blog as well. We've loved working with some major publishers and broadcasters to really come up with some innovative social focused campaigns. NBC News has been a great partner of ours. The first project they wanted to do with us is they wanted to launch a site for Ann Curry. They wanted a place where Ann Curry's reporting her pictures from North Korea and Iran on Instagram, her updates on Facebook, her interviews on YouTube, you name it, where they could all live, easy to access for her fans. Her team closely curates this page with her social updates. And as you scroll down, you see that her tweets are here, links back to NBC News are here. There are Instagrams below. There are YouTube interviews. There's even original content blogged directly by Anne on the RebelMouse platform. Again, we don't have to pull in from social. We love it if you make content right on RebelMouse. We worked again with NBC around the anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. They ran a campaign that you may have seen, #DreamDay, asking people what your dream was in the spirit of Martin Luther King. A lot of newsrooms tried to engage around this event. NBC News was super successful because of the social focused way they went about it with RebelMouse. As you can see, this is NBCnews.com. And as you scroll down, again, it's a really nice looking site from Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. Content pulls in and looks fantastic. As I mentioned, RebelMouse is a fantastic platform to live blog on. When news is breaking on social, you want to cut out the middleman. So that's what we allow. We allow you to connect your social media directly to your site's CMS to include it on your site. We worked with Al Jazeera America in their coverage of the ongoing developments regarding Syria. Jared Keller at Al Jazeera America ran a live blog on Syria updates. And as you can see, this looks much different. It's a single column. The sizing is different. But as you see, they're able to post original updates and link back to articles on their own site in a way that looks just like a live blog, but a really splashy, beautiful implementation. You're also able to add as much set it and forget it as you want on these live blogs. If you have trusted reporters out in the field, you can set their posts to automatically publish on the site anytime they tweet anything or with the hashtag, your choice. If you'd rather pre-approve everything, that's fine too. We have a holding pen for content. We call it the drafts tab. You send your content to drafts. With one click, you publish it. Another click, you get rid of it forever. We worked again with Al Jazeera to do a debate amongst their audience on whether or not the US should intervene in Syria. They wanted their audience to chime in on social media, but also through a Google form that they set up. As you can see, this is their site with their text, and they embedded the Google form on top of a RebelMouse embed. We customized a 2-column look for them, both for intervention and against. And as you scroll down, you can see that tweets and Google form updates are all blended together to provide for on the left and against on the right. It enables you to engage in a debate with your audience that is both dynamic and easy to see who's taking what side and why. Putting content right next to each other like this in a way that you're able to manage from the back end in a way that doesn't make you want to pull your hair out is super important. As I mentioned, I showed you that screenshot of the Time Out New York module. This is in action right here. As you can see, it's below their most popular, and it's above their standard Twitter module. I would just like to draw your attention to how the RebelMouse module looks compared to your standard Twitter module. I think you can see there are big differences between the two. The RebelMouse embed has really nice looking pictures, catchy headlines. It's more likely to engage your audience than just putting a generic Twitter module on your site. We love working with the latest developments in social media. When Instagram rolled out Instagram video into their API, the very next day we rolled out implementation onto RebelMouse. We love working with Vine, and Fast Company has been a great partner for Vine campaigns with us. They've done a couple, and they have a hashtag that they curate around, and they encourage people to send in Vines of themselves. This campaign encouraged their audience to record a Vine, telling us how you get it all done. As you can see, tons of people chimed in, and they all told their story. Fast Company was able to put it all together. You click on them, they load up here. Super easy to load your content, play your Vines. It's that time of year. It's Fashion Week. We've worked with a number of publishers to power Fashion Week coverage. We're excited to be working with the Wall Street Journal for the second year, Cosmopolitan. New partner on Fashion Week this year is Esquire Magazine. They want to do a very specific Instagram campaign around this designer. And as you can see, this is their site, and they're able to keep their native right rail content and embed RebelMouse right here. As they say, onto the show. You scroll down and you see all this gorgeous content presented in modules that defy the way that CMS is generally presented. It's entirely customizable, dynamic to the core. You'll never be caught flat-footed on a campaign with RebelMouse. As you all probably have heard, the big news in our social media world is that our friends at Twitter are preparing an IPO. So our partners over at Quartz wanted to do a page curating all the best news and articles written around the Twitter IPO. As you can see, they registered a domain up here. It's secretipo.com. It's Quartz branded. The whole page is a RebelMouse embed. They're able to add this content manually, as you can see. TechCrunch, Mashable, Blogspots over here, New York Times articles. Here's Dick Costello over here. They're able to put in the stories that are most relevant around this campaign and make it in a really easy way for their audience to engage with it and get the most necessary content that they're looking for. So that's RebelMouse, and I'd love to start taking some of your questions. So I'm just going to go through and pull out a couple here. Somebody asked, Kevin Dale asked, you said your apps are coming soon, but can we pull these pages into our mobile apps? Absolutely. You can load them just like a URL, embed them to play nicely in your apps. Again, it'll work like any other page on your site. It's mobile web optimized. Our apps are less for presenting the content and more to make it easier to curate from wherever you are. Publish on the fly, curate those drafts from the bus, wherever you are when news is breaking. You don't have to be at your computer to run RebelMouse. Somebody asks about embedding in an interactive chart from Google Docs in the blog function. We can work with you to power solutions to include iframes of all kinds of content that you'd like on the site. We encourage you to reach out to us, again, at early@rebelmouse.com with your specific question, and we can help you take care of any kind of module you'd like to use. Really good question here. Would you use one RebelMouse account with more than one publication or separate RebelMouse accounts for each publication? It's a great question. The answer is both. It all depends on how you want to structure it. We have a fantastic feature on RebelMouse called Rebel Nav. Essentially, it allows you to launch tabs for any of your stories or your shows within the same site. So if you wanted to keep the same feeds feeding in, you can filter certain feeds to different tabs, and you can run it all through one that way. You can also launch two sites if you're looking for two different looks, two different feels. It's all up to you. Both options are great, and neither option is better than the other. They're both well suited for different use cases. Somebody asked, I've been interested in RebelMouse for a while, but I'm just not sure how to get started. Do you have tutorial videos walking us through it step by step? We don't have videos. We have a fantastic blog. As I mentioned, blog.rebelmouse.com. Check it out. We have these are the tabs that I referenced, the RebelNav tabs, and we have it broken up. How-tos, frequently asked questions. We have a section just for publishers, highlighting all the great ways that publishers are using RebelMouse. For example, recently, Ron Fournier, the editorial director at the National Journal, was interested in finding out where people were on 9/11, on the anniversary of 9/11. Together with Ron, we came up with a hashtag where were you? You may have seen it on 9/11. It was the #1 trending topic in the whole country on Twitter. We're really proud of the traction that hashtag warranted. And it all was curated, that conversation, on a really touching RebelMouse site. Where were you? This is where people were, from Instagram, from Twitter, from Facebook. It's a really easy way to engage with your audience. So if you're interested in seeing the latest and greatest that publishers are doing, I'd encourage you to go there. If you're looking for a simple how-tos and frequently asked questions, we lay it all out there for you. blog.rebelmouse.com/how_tos. You can also email us early@rebelmouse.com. We are not like your typical social media company. We get back to each and every one of you in really fast time, if I do say so myself. And no question is too insignificant, and no question is too complex. We have heard of them all, and everyone walks away happy. Please reach out to us if you have any questions at all. We love, love, love talking to you, seriously. Tom Williams asks a great question. Any room for us to generate revenue on a RebelMouse page? Absolutely. There are two ways to go about doing this. You can either, as we said, embed RebelMouse on your site and monetize it as you would any other page. Run banner ads, run sponsored content around it, you name it. However you would monetize one of your pages, you can monetize a RebelMouse embed. We also have an ad offering called Rebel Ads. It enables you to have dynamic RebelMouse social modules on your site that you can sell to advertisers on campaigns. They can plug their social media copy directly onto the ad unit. If you're interested in talking about Rebel Ads and how you can use the platform specifically to turn monetization, again, reach out early@rebelmouse.com. You should use the subject Rebel Ads. We would love to connect you with the right people to walk you through, maybe come in and talk to you about revenue. Someone asked if you'd like to see the back end, how to live blog. Absolutely, just getting there. As I said, RebelMouse, you go to rebelmouse.com and you're in. All I need to do is sign in via Twitter. It asks Twitter if it's okay. I've told Twitter that yes, RebelMouse is my friend. You can give them access. Boom, this is my site. Jake found this online. These are the things that I find online. Not everything that I post on social media goes here. If you follow me on social media, you know that I post a lot of stuff, but I don't want everything to be on my site. This is the stuff that I want, the stuff that I think is great. The drafts tab that I mentioned is right here. This is where people who tweet at me or duplicates of retweets show up. I'm able to publish right from here or just remove it from the page entirely. The dashboard here is where all the magic happens on your site. When you load the dashboard, you're able to see first the sites that you run and the social accounts that are linked to each. I have my Facebook, my Twitter. You guys can all follow me on Twitter. I would encourage it. Instagram, go for it. LinkedIn, StockTwits, Google+. We enable brand pages on Google+. So your Newsrooms page is easy to link to your site. If you have a social account, we can help you get it integrated. I've been talking a lot about telling RebelMouse what you want. So content and feeds, that's where you go. As you can see, we offer all the platforms in different ways to search the various APIs. On Twitter, you can search via @handle, a hashtag, a Twitter list you might have put together of sources or journalists, or a keyword search term. For my own personal site, I have everything that I tweet going to my draft tab. If I want to put it on there, I can just go in and add it, but everything won't show up. I also like listening to Spotify, and I like sharing what music I'm listening to that day. Spotify uses the hashtag now playing. I told RebelMouse anytime I tweet something that says now playing, hashtagged, I'd like you to publish it, but only publish it on my tunes page. Tunes is where I put all my tunes where I want to listen to. And if you go back to my page, just to show you how that corresponds, this is my tunes page. I have 2 songs here. We integrate with the Spotify play button. You're able to just click play here and load the modules here. Playlists, you can listen to full playlists. This is one of the guys from Daft Punk put together this playlist. If you're interested in finding it, it's super funky. You can go check it out, rebelmouse.com/Jake Beckman. You can click on it right from there. We integrate with SoundCloud, YouTube, all those great partners as well. If you're sharing content across social media and the internet, we can help you get it on RebelMouse. Going back to the dashboard, so I can type in, let's say that I'm interested in covering Syria. If I typed in hashtag Syria, I could do the same kind of curation, either from drafts or just going straight to the page. I could put in a Twitter list of trusted sources and filter by a keyword or a domain, as I mentioned. Easy, easy, easy to do. I can link my Instagram. I have my social account published. If there is an Instagram hashtag that you're interested in using on a campaign, you're able to pull that in as well. That allows you to pull in hashtags across social networks, from Twitter and Instagram to Tumblr and so forth. Just because a hashtag lives on a different social network doesn't mean it's unrelated to the campaign. It should all be there no matter where it was posted. YouTube and Tumblr, LinkedIn and StockTwits, any site with an RSS feed. You can even have your page just send out an RSS, and every time you put in a new article you publish, it'll go right to your RebelMouse alongside all the social content. While I'm here, I can show you the design tab that I mentioned. This is where you choose all the designs. Again, one click on any of the designs will change it for the site. One click will change it back. As I mentioned, if you're interested in getting into the dirty work of the code, be our guest. Right here, do whatever you like with the CSS. If you're interested in integrating with your Newsrooms, custom CSS, we have a great team of designers and developers worldwide who help us develop live test environments, figure out where the modules are going to live, help you plan out those sites. Again, just ping us via email or on Twitter. We'd be happy to help you out. I've been talking a lot about embedding on your site. How do you do it? It's really easy. We ask you a couple questions if you want a full page or a side page, which sections of the site you want to show. If you want to limit the posts, how many posts you want to show. All you do is fill them out and click generate. This short line of JavaScript code is all you put in your CMS. We don't mess with your jQueries. We don't mess with anything you have going. If you run your site through WordPress, we have a plugin that fits right in. We have never run into a problem where RebelMouse did not work with a CMS, no matter how custom the partner had it. So don't be afraid. And if you run into any issues, just ping us. We'll absolutely help you. And as I mentioned, from the dashboard, this is where you can find our little bookmarklet. If you just click on it and drag it up into your bookmarks bar, you see I have it here. Anytime I click this here, I'm able to post directly onto my RebelMouse from it. If you have any more questions about the dashboard, you can let me know. You can tweet at me, or you can send an email to early@RebelMouse. We'd be happy to help you out. Great question. How do you pull in tweets, finds, and Instagrams that aren't yours but want to curate on a topic? Easy to do. Just because you're linking your social account doesn't mean the content has to come from you. Your social account is your gateway to the rest that Twitter and Tumblr and all the rest have to offer. Once you're in, you can pull them in from any user that you want. And you don't need to go looking for the specific piece of content that you're looking for, like some other competitors in the space make you do. If the content's out there and it matches your parameters, it'll go right to where you tell RebelMouse to send it. You can even be hands-off if you set it up to be that way. Previously, putting together social live blogs, telling social stories, pulling in disparate social media accounts and content was painstaking, was piece by piece. RebelMouse gets rid of that. All you need to do is tell us what you want, and we'll send it right to your site. Michael Olson asks if we can serve ads. Again, if you're interested in ads, we have a whole other presentation and team members who can walk you through our ads offering. It's very robust and very aggressive. We just launched a great campaign with Entertainment Weekly for their fall TV, powered by Comcast Xfinity. They're able to sell sponsored content modules that are marked and treated however you'd like, either very ostentatiously or not at all, as you see fit. With sponsored content, they're able to monetize directly from their RebelMouse embed. Andrew Hart asks about legal implications for using RebelMouse in terms of fair use and content. Those are things that you don't have to worry about with RebelMouse. If you navigate to our blog, you can click on our terms of service and check it out. Privacy is of the utmost, and we play nicely with all the APIs. If it's not okay with the social networks, it's not okay with us. We play by everyone's rules, and everyone has a good time. Someone asked if you can use RebelMouse to monitor different sites at the same time, not publishing, but comparing different Facebook sites, for example. Absolutely. You can pull in content from both sites. You can use one of the great features of RebelNav is you can have hidden tabs that are just for you that don't necessarily publish to the public. You're able to direct different pages to different tabs and keep an eye on anything you want to look for that you're running without having to publish it. Someone asked if you have multiple hashtags feeding a RebelMouse page, can you have certain ones go to draft and others post automatically? Yes, yes, yes. It's a core functionality and one of the best features of RebelMouse. You can tell it some content I want to moderate, but some content I trust it can just go right to the page. You're able to set it up super easily. If you have any questions on the dashboard and the curation process that I went through, I'm around. Just ping me. I'll be happy to walk you through it personally. Let me see. I'm just going through some more questions. Somebody asked about replacing RebelMouse branding with the automatic generated newsletters that we provide via MailChimp. We'd encourage you to reach out to us to discuss some specifics. We're absolutely happy to change out the social accounts and work with you so that you're able to present with your company or your Newsrooms brand instead of our own. Stephen Bennett asked about future plans for design features on blog posts, font size, colors, etc. Yes, we are constantly enhancing our live blog layout that's in development. We're super excited to roll it out in full force to you, along with a lot of other great layouts that are well suited for other types of campaigns and sites. If you have a story that you're looking to tell, you don't have to tell it in one way. RebelMouse allows you to customize it any way you see fit. I'm just going to take a couple more here, and we're going to wrap up. Someone asked a great question. Will the deck and webinar be available on demand or to download? Absolutely. We are recording the entire thing, and we will be posting a video of the webinar along with the slides. Look out for an email. If you registered for this webinar, we'll send you an email about it. If you don't get it by tomorrow, send me an email, shoot me a tweet. I'll make sure you get it. Somebody asked how you embed a RebelMouse item in WordPress. Again, we have a WordPress plugin that you can use. Super easy, straight through WordPress. If you go to our blog, you can find information about how to do that. You can also find information about how to, if you have a personal site through GoDaddy or some other thing, how to make that point to your personal RebelMouse. All kinds of great things that you can use to enhance your RebelMouse experience. Can I keep RebelMouse pages private while I set up a trial view for my bosses? Yeah, totally. Absolutely. These things take time. We know you're not going to be ready to go out of the gate. We allow you to keep a site as low profile as you want. You can even exclude it from search. Google won't crawl it. No one will find it until you're ready to show it. We work with you on some campaigns we work on for 6 months before they go live. Some we work on for a day before the publisher is ready to go for it. Depending on the level of customization that you're interested in, we're able to work with you there. Okay, I've reached the end of all the questions I can take in the 45 or 50 minutes that I've allotted. The last thing I'd love to encourage all of you about is if you're interested in not just reporters, but in your newsroom, working with RebelMouse to add a scalable and wide-reaching social layer, ping us about our new enterprise program. It's got a ton of fantastic features, including faster pinging of the API on our private social API, faster processing, clustering of data. So if you've got a very active hashtag, you're able to pull that content in faster. A ton of other great newsroom level offerings and features. And we can walk you through pricing that we offer there. Again, RebelMouse is free for everyone to use as a standard unit, always is, always will be. If you want to make it your own and work with us, we'd love to talk to you, come up with something reasonable. We can do all the consulting. We can help you set it up. We can work with your agency. We can work with your reporters. We can work with your developers. That's what we do, and we're happy to work with you there. If you have any other questions about the enterprise program, enterprise@rebelmouse.com, just send an email, and we'll be able to answer your questions from there. Again, if you have any questions for me, you can tweet me. I'm at Jake Beckman. If you haven't followed me, go ahead. You can also check out my RebelMouse, rebelmouse.com/Jake Beckman. You can tweet at the company at RebelMouse. Again, any questions at all that you might have in your setup process, early@rebelmouse.com. You can include in the subject Jake webinar or something to let our team know where you're coming from. Either I or someone on our support team will be more than happy to walk you through step by step. And I do mean step by step if you need a lot of help, anything that you're trying to set up on RebelMouse. So that's all I got. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you found it informative. And if you have any questions, again, just feel free to reach out. That's it for me here at RebelMouse. I look forward to working with a number of you and seeing the fantastic things that you're all doing on social media together and figuring out new ways that RebelMouse can help you tell better and more compelling online stories. Again, thanks very much for joining. I'm Jake Beckman, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye, guys.